I very often do layouts with absolutely nothing but the photos and text on them. I do not use any scrapbooking kits, elements, papers, and other things in my layout. Simply various techniques in Photoshop Elements are utilized in order to create a really effective layout. This tutorial is very simple, and you may have picked up some of these techniques in some of the other earlier tutorials, but I want to highlight this one and show you how cool and effective it is. You know, especially when making your titles much larger, you've learned in the design principle tutorials that it can bring too much focal weight to the title, and so often you want to do things that will lessen the focal weight on a title, and this can be one of those things that you can do to achieve that. I have here just simply a title, some text that I have created, and I've got a background layer. I am going to hold down on my control key. We've done this in many of the other lessons, but I'll go slowly for those new to this tutorial. Hold down your control key and click on the thumbnail in the layers palette, not over here on the layers palette, but on the thumbnail of the layer, to get marching ants around your text. Create a new layer by hitting the new layer icon. Now we have a new layer, and then I'm going to go up and edit, stroke, and for the purposes of this particular technique, I want a very, very, very small stroke, about 5, and I've got a color of black. Of course, you can experiment with whatever colors you want, and I'm going to click OK and Control D to deselect. That's been done in many, many other tutorials, but here is the little trick, which is really no trick at all, just an effect that is cool when you put it on a layer that is just a stroke layer, and I've got this white underneath it. Go ahead and simply add a low drop shadow to the border layer, and you're going to see this very cool, almost 3D cartoony like effect. And that's about all there is to this technique. You can open up the style settings and maybe play with the angles to get different effects. You can also play with the color of the shadow. Maybe I might want to make it a little more green. Play with the opacity of the shadow. And your distance, well, that really makes it different. That could be really cool effect there. I'm going to show you this layout that I'm working on. The size does not help. Well, that's kind of cool. This is how I back that back off to about right there. This is how I come up with some of my more artistic layouts, by just simply playing like this until it comes into effect. If I want to go and maybe lower the opacity on my original text just a tad, that will take some of the focal weight off of it and make that pretty cool. But what I want to do is show you now one of my layouts that I've done a lot earlier that I'm sure utilized this technique as well as many others, and I'm not going to share with you how I did it all, because really I don't know how I did it all. My layers do not tell me all of my secrets, because I did a lot of simplifying and things like that. What's up with this layer? There we go. There's my layout. And you can see that I've utilized some of these techniques. If you look here at this title, this is a title similar to what we just did without anything beyond it. It's just the title on a layer by itself. And over here, you can see the word humor going down the side. It has also got that technique we just described on it. If I zoom in, you can see that shadow around it. However, I believe that the layer below it is not there either, the original layer. And here it is done again down here. There are lots of other techniques done in this. For instance, this layer here, I'm going to remove it, is a photo that just, I believe, has had, if I'm correct, everything done in here was done in Photoshop Elements. Under Photo Effects, you can find the different tinting. And so I've simply taken this layer and applied a tint to it, and then I duplicated the layer and changed the blending mode to screen and added, it looks like here, an inner stroke with a blending mode to it around the edges. Just simple. You could, this is, I'm just giving you these ideas so you can try to do a layout without any elements or kits and just some really cool effects, such as using the tinting and also this new technique that I've shared with you today. If you look down here, this layer here is a very effective layer, and it's actually been simplified, but and so I can't quite tell you how I did it, but let me take it off and you can see what an important layer that is. It is just simply a rounded corner. You can see up here a rounded corner, white, and then I added a border to it, and then I've applied some sort of layer styles to it, no telling what I applied to it, and it's also got a lowered opacity. I guess it looks like it's just a white layer with lowered opacity and a drop shadow and a border. That's all that looks like it is to me. So you can see, I'm going to take it off and take it on, how much of an effect that one layer, simple layer, had on the photo. And this photo up here is simply this same photo, only I cut out just the top portion of it and enlarged it and changed it to a sepia tone up there. So this is my task for you. Use this technique that I shared on the text, as is done over here. You can leave the original text layer if you want, or take it off and make a layout that has some of the effects. I want you to just be inspired by this layout and have fun with it.